When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish,
the podcast that hasn't been able to think of one of these because it keeps masturbating instead, which is, you know, writer's cock.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Oh God, when you have one of those weeks when you just can't stop jerking off and you get nothing done.
Yeah, it's like I need to clean the bathroom. 10 hours later, you jerked off 3 times.
Now you really need to clean the bathroom. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality.
When your bathroom looks like a crime scene because there's just cum and toilet paper and shit everywhere.
Are you okay, Dan?
This is exactly what I needed today.
Okay, great.
Dan, it's been a few episodes. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I didn't say you could talk.
You're like a leprechaun.
Oh my God, that's our topic
Which is
today.
our topic today.
Did you just say that because...
No, it's a mythical creature. He appears when he wants to, and when he goes away, you can't find him. And I'm pretty sure he lives under a rainbow.
I was going to say he shits rainbows, which is fine. Okay, but first, we have a couple corrections from Dan.
Yeah.
Now you can talk.
Okay, I fucked one of them up. You can say it. Nope, I'm going to say it. Dolly the Sheep was 1996. It was not the early 2000s, so I was very wrong about the date. Not very wrong, but wrong enough.
Yeah, she was born on the 5th of July, 1996.
Oh, it was almost America.
She was almost Tom Cruise.
The efforts to clone her...
Do you know Tom Cruise's
started
birthday?
Much earlier, but...
He was in the movie Born on the 4th of July. Never mind.
Oh,
Sorry, okay, great.
Wow, okay.
Go ahead.
Welcome to our Above 40 audience. We're so happy to have you. Do you like that joke? More where that came from.
I just wanted to clarify she was the first cloned mammal from an adult cell. I don't know if we were that specific. There had been lots of...
Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton was the first cloned mammal from an adult cell. Actually, the sheep got named Dolly specifically because that adult cell came from the mammary gland of a 6-year-old ewe. Not a 6-year-old you,
It was
Kyle.
a boob joke? It was a boob joke?
It was a boob joke.
That's so fitting.
Which leads into my main correction.
Okay.
Which is when Dolly Parton found out about that they'd named the sheep after her because it was cloned from a boob cell. That was when she, quote, invited the sheep when it had served its scientific purpose to come live at Dollywood.
Which is what they said on the first episode of Dolly Does America.
Dolly Parton's America, not Dolly Does America.
I like mine better.
I'm sure she would be delighted. So that quote is what you interpreted as Dolly Parton adopted Dolly the sheep. However, Dolly the sheep's scientific purpose was not fulfilled until she died. They needed to monitor her as an experimental organism, as the first ever of her kind, until she died. She died on... She lived from one holiday to another. She died on... or she was put to sleep, actually, on Valentine's Day 2003. They had found that she had tumors in her lungs. And then her body was donated to the National Museum of Scotland, where I believe you can still see it on display today. During her life, though, she did have a fairly fulfilling life. She had 6 lambs with a ram named David between 1998 and 2000. So, yeah. But she never lived at Dollywood.
I'm going to talk about a ram named David later.
I'm going to get rammed by yeah. All right. That's all for now.
Well, thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Fuck you. Fucking Dan. Okay. I just needed to get back to tradition.
Yep.
News?
Yeah, let's do the news. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. Are you excited about the news?
No, it's just
okay.
terrible.
Great.
All of it is terrible. I had to sometimes I go through and I'm like, okay, which of these stories is the least shitty so that I can end on that one, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nope, this week pretty much nothing.
I don't know how many people know. If you want to jump right to the episode topic, in the description I put in when the news starts, when the
sure, let them know now how to skip me, Kyle. Thanks.
Well, it's like, hey, I'm going to make you really depressed.
Yep. Great.
Don't hit the forward button.
Great.
Just have to deal with it.
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the notes if you want to skip the news.
Yeah.
We have to talk about former Republican Congressman Representative Aaron Schock.
Do we?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we have to, right?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest gay story of the week.
Yeah.
So he was a Republican congressman from Illinois, famously anti-LGBT. He got a 0% rating, I think, from the HRC. One of those like watchdog groups that looks at the voting records of people in Congress. He got a 0. That anti-gay.
Yeah.
Then he was shirtless on the cover of Men's Health as the most fit congressman of the year or ever.
And
maybe.
that's when gays like just raised an eyebrow and were like,
yeah. I mean, real hot. I mean,
Yeah,
like hot by not Congress standards.
yeah.
Him and Mitch McConnell standing next to each other shirtless might do it for some people, but
Oh man, I want Mitch McConnell to be on top and his flab just melts all over Aaron Schock and
Great.
he just envelops him like an amoeba monster.
oh, like that one woman that went to the hospital and she had an ulcer and her skin folds and they found a cheeseburger in there.
Yeah, let's not talk about. Let's move
Okay,
on.
great.
Let's move
Next. So then he misappropriated funds and got in a lot of trouble and ultimately ended up losing his seat in Congress because he transformed his office to look like Downton Abbey.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, let's not be a stereotype right off the bat.
Yep. Fast forward a few years and sex tapes emerge of him. Not sex tapes, masturbation tapes emerge of him.
Oh, I didn't
I have
know
a
that
couple
was
of fraternity brothers sent to me. If you want to watch them, we sure can. We're not going to do that right now. Dan. Yeah, so a couple of jerk-off videos.
I didn't know about that one.
Pictures of him at gay events that are like rumored to be him. Is that or is that not him?
Yeah.
He went to Coachella and was like, for sure, like that's definitely him seen standing in a line of dudes and making out with a dude. And
The famous one is like him giving money to a go-go boy or stripper or something.
yes, that happened as well. Anyway, last week he came out of the closet. And I don't know. What do you think? I'll have you react first because
really?
I've reacted all over the internet.
Oh,
Just
yeah, I
like,
mean,
like your bathroom. It's all over.
It's everywhere. I mean, I think I read what you said, and I think I agree with you on this. I think we're on the same page. What I've been struggling with is, I'll go ahead and start with the conflict that I have, is it sucks to be in the closet, and it makes you do things that are not 100% you. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm struggling with is like
marry a redhead whose middle name is Jolene. Go ahead.
Yep. Lots of things like that. And it sucks. It's societal pressure that forces you to stay in the closet. So it must have sucked for him.
Yeah, for sure.
At the same time, what I've come to the conclusion of is, in spite of that, you are still responsible for your actions, and particularly when you go after the human rights of a group of people. I actually don't care if you were closeted. If you're going after someone's human rights, that's a really fucked up thing you did. Lots of people were in the closet. I didn't demean or diminish gay people. So
Yep.
he did that. And then it didn't help that when he came out, he did not say, I plan on working to repair this for the gay community. Like, what you would want then is him saying, so sorry, figured this shit out, I'm going to work to make it better, all that. And he didn't say that. He just kind of said like, hey, yep, gay.
Here I am.
Yep.
Here's my abs some more.
Yeah.
Which are magnificent.
Which
but that
are-
doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. I think this matters a little bit in the gay community.
I mean, okay, that's a real thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, if he were gross, nobody would like him.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
that, like,
That's, this fucked up standard we have. If you're hot, you can do whatever you want with me. If you're hot, you can do whatever.
if you're hot and white, I think
That's
that's
true. Yes.
another
Yes.
big component
Hot,
here.
cis, white, yeah. Wait, what was your take?
Very similar. It's
You had a really great, eloquent thing in our Facebook group, I think, that you posted, and I...
which I would read it if it weren't like 10 minutes long to read. But just like, fuck that guy. He needs to apologize and apologize again and keep apologizing, because his actions, regardless of what made him take those actions, he needs to take responsibility for. They actually hurt people. That pain is real and exists, and he needs to atone for that. And so far, nothing I've seen from him even approaches an apology, even approaches a admission of responsibility for Don't ask, don't tell. He voted on the wrong side of that. He voted on the wrong side of gay marriage. He got a 0. He actively legislated against gay people.
And especially if he's going to be in our spaces, which he is, and if he wants to be in the LGBT community, like, you can't, not everyone is welcome, even if you're gay, even if you're lesbian. Like Caitlyn Jenner, no, you can't support Trump, and like, we don't want you.
Yep.
I guess technically what I've said in the past is it sucks, but shitty people are in the LGBT community, like, by definition. Not that we want you there, but...
So,
anyway,
if he wants to come on the show, I'd be happy to talk to him.
Oh, boy, yeah, that'd be really interesting.
If anybody knows him, let me know. We have lots of listeners in the greater Chicago area.
Do we?
We do. It's surprising. I didn't think there was anything in Chicago.
Now we have less listeners in Chicago.
News the second?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Poland.
Yeah, my parents lived there for a couple years.
Yep. So nearly 100 Polish municipal or local governments have proclaimed themselves to be, quote, free from LGBTI ideology. Basically, a third of the country now in geographic mass has declared itself an official LGBT-free zone.
Oh, their own safe space.
Exactly. My God, we should start sending people to Poland. If they can't handle all of these queer bakers or whatever, then like go to Poland. So they, what? Is that confusing?
Queer baker? Was that directed at me?
No, you are a queer baker. That's true. And no, I don't want you to go to Poland. I just mean the people that are freaking out about, like, I don't want to have to cook cakes because that means I'm supporting gays. I said it wrong.
Straight people that are annoyed at gay people for making them bake wedding cakes.
Go to Poland. You have a place now.
Yeah.
It's like Liberia. Go for it.
Yeah.
They describe the measures as part of, quote, a broader context of attacks against the LGBTI community in Poland, which include growing hate speech by public and elected officials and public media, as well as attacks and bans on pride marches and actions such as Rainbow Friday. I don't know what Rainbow Friday is. We should find out what Rainbow Friday is, but apparently it's a big enough of a deal that people in Poland are pissed about it.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, right. I'm going to Rainbow Friday. So anyway, it's just, they're very brave. They're so brave. They're so persecuted, and we're so...
Our ideology... I want to know what our ideology is.
Right?
I mean, it's just like sharing parties, right? Like, how can you be upset with that?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I've been to Poland, and the 1 week I spent there makes me an expert. Like, you can see the distinct, like, this is old, like, still standing Poland, and there's just a line, and everything is new because of being bombed in the war. Like, to think that they have a country that's steeped in that kind of anti-Semitism and, you know, attacks against a minority group that is still so prominently visible and part of the culture in just how the city looks is crazy that they didn't take a lesson from that to turn around and say, like, everyone, like, let's all be chill. Like, this is...
Let's all be chill, everyone.
Let's all be chill. Rainbow Fridays sound great. Just deal with it.
Rainbow Friday is an event in Poland that was created to show support for LGBT youth. It was launched in...
Gay kids, shut it down!
2019. It was to sort of... It's very similar to things around the world where trying to combat bullying of queer youth.
Yeah, put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Beat those kids down till they learn to like pussy, I guess. Okay, next.
And it's just, it's not every Friday, to be clear. It's like a one Rainbow Friday.
Well, it's Rainbow Friday at my place every Friday.
Every Friday.
Come on in.
Yeah.
So a counselor in South Carolina in the county of Greenville has decided that such a good idea that they're trying to start their own LGBT-free zone out of cities and counties in South Carolina, which just goes to show that idiocy attracts more idiocy.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, not that we needed any more examples, but people that are like, stop talking about it. It's not a thing. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Why are you making it the center point of your life? And then, like, people actually create zones where it's not allowed. Like,
yeah.
Let's not pretend like your straight pride is important.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I concur, Captain.
Mm-hmm. News
the last?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've talked several times on the show, I think, over the years now, Kyle, about just how powerful the gays are.
Sure, yeah.
All of the things that we just we can do.
Wield power.
Yep. Well,
I think we took rainbows from God, is what one thing said.
Pastor Stephen Andrew pastor of the California-based USA Christian Church, says that we caused the coronavirus. So he, first of all, I love this guy. Like, you could not write a villain better than this dude. He has declared March in his church to be Repent of LGBT Sin Month. And he believes that this genuinely will save lives and the nation and protect from coronavirus.
Yeah, like they should all get in a big mass of people
in Poland,
inside a contained space, and just try to prevent the coronavirus. That's really smart.
Yep. Quote, God's love shows it is urgent to repent because the Bible teaches homosexuals lose their souls and God destroys LGBT societies. Obeying God protects the USA from diseases such as the coronavirus.
Man, I say we embrace it. We say we will continue the coronavirus. We're actually going to mutate it into super coronavirus if you don't accept gay people.
I heard Big Fatty the other day say that the only cure for coronavirus is Lyme disease. I thought it was pretty funny.
Good work.
Yeah. Our safety is at stake, he claims.
Well, that part's true.
Since national disobedience of God's law brings anger and diseases, such as coronavirus, but obeying God brings covenant protection. Yeah, I mean, bring it. At this point, I don't care. Blame me for whatever you want to.
Yeah, you're right. I've done it all.
Coronavirus, hurricanes, Dancing with the Stars, whatever. I will take full responsibility. That's the news.
I mean, we've talked about Pete Buttigieg, and again, we keep being one episode off. Like, he does something between recording. He dropped out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So did Elizabeth Warren.
So did Warren.
Who I voted for.
Me too.
Before she quit.
Yeah, same. Same
God.
here. Washington primaries will be interesting. But
yeah.
Patreon.
Oh, yeah, Patreon.
Thank you to Patreon members. Chris, should have read this one before I'm about to say it.
How do you spell that? That's a long last name.
Chris, should have read this before. Chris Loretano.
Loretano.
Yeah, that sounds right. What? Jack Crouch? Which that's too easy. Jack Crouch is too easy. Put it on your Grindr profile. And Stephen Yarbrough.
Stephen Yarbrough. Great.
I want a name that ends in bro. That'd be hot.
Yeah. Yar, bro.
Pirate bro.
Pirate bros.
Is that just Johnny Depp or what?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Thank you to our Patreon members and supporters. You can get bonus content, early access to episodes if you go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait,
but you
did have something.
You had something to say?
Is it time?
Yeah.
So Kyle.
So Dan.
Oh, no.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah?
She had many notable film roles and TV roles, too, besides being just Rachel on Friends.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
She was, of course, nominated for a Golden Globe and a SAG Award for Cake, which was an amazing... Her depiction of a migraineur.
I saw that movie.
With chronic pain,
I loved it. Yeah.
She even just the laying down in the car because sitting up was too painful.
Loved it.
It really spoke to me.
Agree.
But she was also in We're the Millers, Horrible Bosses, Wanderlust, Marley.
I'm sorry, wait, were all those before or after she was Rachel on Friends?
After she was Rachel.
Okay, that's interesting because what I said is not that is her only role, only that's what launched her into stardom.
But
yeah,
that would mean you're overlooking her first feature film, the 1993 horror classic Leprechaun. It's just Leprechaun. Don't put an article in front of it.
Fine.
Fine. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Right over my big reveal, Mike.
I'm the Leprechaun.
Yeah, it's real creepy.
Thank you for confirming that I am correct in what I said, that is the role that launched her into stardom.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That movie was terrible.
Speaking of Leprechaun, let's talk about leprechauns.
Let's talk about leprechauns.
Let's talk about leprechauns. Wait a minute. We're doing this in anticipation of
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but this is one of those rando ones that are just kind of interesting and fun.
I mean, they're kind of gay.
Are they? Let's find out together.
Great.
Okay. First of all, we're going to start with one specific leprechaun.
Okay.
Lucky.
Lucky the Leprechaun.
Loki the Leprechaun. Do you... okay, so you know who he is. He's the mascot for the General Mills cereal Lucky Charms.
Yep.
He has previously been known as Sir Charms.
Sir Charms.
Charms.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, Queen...
How many mushrooms? How many marshmallows were there in the cereal when you were a kid?
I don't remember.
They're technically known as Marbits.
Marbits?
Yeah, they're not
Oh,
a true
because they
marshmallow.
can't legally be marshmallows.
Because they're
funny.
60% styrofoam.
Just like my soul.
Yeah.
Hearts, stars, horseshoes, rainbows, and blue moons, pots of gold, and earmuffs.
So much shit. Okay.
And Constantinople. I don't remember how the rhyme goes.
Pink hearts, orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, blue diamonds, and then
Blue Diamonds is a newer one.
no. And
No.
then when I was like maybe junior high, they added purple horseshoes. And then red balloons, I would think I was in college when they added red balloons. Anyway, we were a 5 marshmallow household whenever we were like lucky enough to get a box of that shit because my parents didn't let us eat trash.
I, as an adult, would be like, I'm fucking buying Lucky Charms and I'm eating all of it tonight. Like, okay. Anyway.
Great.
He was also originally called LC Leprechaun.
LC Leprechaun.
I don't know what that stands for, but I like Sir Charms better.
Yeah.
Could it be Lucky Charms Leprechaun?
Maybe, but that's too easy.
He's a little cunt.
Little. So we're going to talk about Little Cunt Leprechaun. And some people think he's gay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. End of segment.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
But why does that read gay to you?
Because he's talking about his dick.
Okay. Well, women can be after his Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that's true.
In an article, HuffPo Queer Voices by Christopher Rudolph, which was in 2013, is where I got this. General Mills came out in what?
Just General Mills has Sir Charms. Like, what's up with all the titles?
Sir Charms, Lord Leprechaun of the end of thine rainbow. General Mills came out in support of the gay community for Pride. So, like, this is in the 2010s. Like, you get no credit to me. Like, at this point, if I'm glad when people support it, it's great, it's good for us, I get that, but you don't get any bonus points for me. Like,
sure.
The people that were in support, like in the 90s, like you get, or before.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now you're just cashing in. Is that your point?
they're not taking a risk.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll get, like, it's almost better for them. They'll get PR from it. They'll get enough backlash that people, like, it's just
they'll get boycotted, which is really just going to increase business because more people don't suck than boycotters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's not, this is our core belief, so we think it's the right thing to do, even if it hurts our profits. We've now taken the calculated, like, risk that we know it's okay to do now, and we won't hurt financially too much. You know, like, that's,
Okay.
Anyway, in 2013 they used the rainbow marshmallow of the Lucky Charms as part of their campaign, which was #LuckyToBe.
Oh.
So, I mean, but good job fitting that little marshmallow is rainbow marshmallow.
Rainbows everywhere celebrated.
No, rainbows were like, that's not my rainbow. I'm better than that. I'm more, that rainbow's just a shill for corporate America. But the good thing, at least, is they backed their campaign up with political talk or whatever. Ken Charles, the company's vice president of diversity and inclusion.
Are you sure it's not Admiral Charles? Or whatever?
Admiral Sir Ken Charles, master of the leprechaun domain.
God.
And unicorns. He said he supported being against the ban. Wait, hold on.
He supported being against the ban.
I don't know. Yeah, actually, that was right in a weird way. He was against the ban on gay marriage in Minnesota.
Oh, great.
So he was whatever the good position was to be on that for that.
So he killed Michelle Bachmann.
And everything was fine. I sometimes try to end on the positive note. This was just too good. So I saw this video of people marching, protesting, and this guy came out and videoed them, and he was like, "Is the leprechaun gay?" Like, kind of like trolling them a little bit. Which, even if it's like that kind of shit, still makes me feel uncomfortable, even when it's someone that I know is on my side. But it still feels weird. Anyway, Rod Dreher of the American Conservative said, "Your children's breakfast cereal is now gay." Just so you... I don't see any problem so far. Just so you know... Again, they did not say the character was gay. They just came out in support of and used the little rainbow
I don't
thing.
even think that's the gayest breakfast cereal, by the way.
What
like,
is?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, hands down. That shit gay.
I would say like Sugar Smacks.
Why?
Because that's what it's called when you kiss after a blowjob.
That's not a snowball?
No. Snowball spitting it back and forth. When you just kiss, the sugar smack in. Like you're
okay.
A kiss, a smack, and there's sugar, which is just basically sugar.
Great.
My vote's for Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, that's true.
They're rainbow colored, and then the word fruity is in it.
Yeah, surprisingly, Fruity Pebbles really straight.
Yeah.
They just support the gay community. They don't care. Straight, but
Look
not
at the
narrow.
heteronormativity of Fred and Barney. Like, they're-
Yeah, that's true.
Wilma and Betty are just like getting railed on the regular. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, okay, back to this dude's quote. Your children's breakfast cereal is now gay. Just so you know, your children's breakfast cereal is now gay. I don't think that's a sentence anybody, not a comedy writer, ever imagined penning. What's next? Sorry.
I'm preemptively excited.
Okay. So, no, I ruined it now. What?
Do you want me to read it?
I got this.
Okay, great.
I'm a professional podcaster. What's next? Snap, crackle, poppers?
He did not. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Jesus H. Christ.
You,
Oh my God.
like,
that
what you're
guy.
saying-
That guy is fucking in an airport somewhere.
oh, sure.
Like
that, he got us. You know, like, that's good. What he says is horrible, but he, like, props. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
Oh, God.
Rod.
Gotta have my poppers.
Once you pop her, you don't stop her. We've already said that before on this podcast. We're just recycling material. Okay, that's what I got.
Great.
Mike.
Yeah. Oh, it's my turn.
You talk. You talk.
So I love Irish people. I was there almost exactly a year ago for Kelly and Jeremy's wedding, and it was amazing.
Oh, yeah. You were just there.
And they're like totes down. Soup's amazing. The Irish people are amazing. Leprechauns are, of course, Irish. That's where that comes from. And there's a whole mythology about it. So today on the ride here, I was back home in Eastern Washington for a thing yesterday, and so I'm back now. And I found the National Leprechaun Museum podcast.
Whoa.
And listened to 3 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. And first of all, the National Leprechaun Museum is a thing in Ireland. It's in Dublin.
What's in it?
Gayish, what's in it? Kyle's butthole. What's in it? First of all, Ireland has a gay Taoiseach, which is like their prime minister, and they're like soup's down. Like, it's a very liberal country that ranks very highly on like acceptance of LGBT people. And first I want you to hear their accents are amazing, and so I'm going to play a clip from their show, but also listen how you'll hear it when you hear it, and we can. I'm going to talk about.
That is how sound works.
Yeah.
I think everyone's a storyteller. Everyone has a story to tell. They may not all be big, epic sagas, but it's when that opportunity arises to tell a story. But we're all influenced. I mean, no one lives in isolation. You know what I mean? No man is not, or woman, or non-binary identifying individuals either. So, yeah, I think everyone is a storyteller.
It's just, I think that was totally spontaneous, unironic, just like for them to just say no man's an island, no woman, no non-binary person either.
Yeah.
Like, that was so casual, and I think that's just how they think and talk.
Yeah.
It's fucking fantastic.
And that's what I do when I fuck up, and I try to use, like non-gender specific language. I'm a big fan of the word y'all. But when I do fuck up and say man, and then I'm like, oh, right, woman. Like, this is usually the order of operations, man. Oh, fuck, woman. Oh, fuck, anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do the same thing. So that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was like, okay, listening to this podcast anyway. And then, like, that's the first episode.
Oh, wow.
In the first 10 minutes.
What's it about?
Well, so it's about storytelling primarily, and the National Leprechaun Museum, it's my understanding, is mostly a storytelling experience. People go there to hear the folklore, and they end up being, they're super knowledgeable about just folklore in general. So the first episode, for instance, the woman Deirdre, she explains the story of Scheherazade, which is Arabian. It's the Arabian Nights, 1001 Arabian Nights, 1001 Nights. Anyway, there are so many
of 2 Arabian Nights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Charles Dick me. Okay.
Dick ins.
Dick ins, dick out. Dick ins, dick out.
But there are all these things about mythology and folklore that are really common to the human experience that you see pop up all over the place. Themes, ideas, concepts. We really are a storytelling species, and it's how we kept our histories before written word was a thing.
Yeah.
And anyway, so where was I going with this?
Leprechauns?
I think that's what's at the museum is primarily an oral history of leprechauns and banshee, other mythical creatures in Irish folklore.
Interesting.
Yeah. So episode 2 is Love and Water, and they talk about the relationship between love and water and other beverages as being tied to stories about romance in
The
Irish
Shape of Water.
folklore.
Oh.
Well, similarly, right? Like they would say that is an example of what they're talking about. That like this love story that has an aquatic tone to what's happening is very much a part of Irish folklore. So here's a clip of a conversation that they were having about. They take questions from a pink box that they have set up, and then they read the questions on the air and talk about them.
Okay.
Most of the questions are about leprechauns.
Sure.
What was the courting process of leprechauns, Nathan?
Oh, right. I really want to imagine there's some sort of dance or some sort of flash, because they were very crafty. They created things. They were makers. I'd imagine there's something to do with like these birds, these exotic birds with these big flashy colours behind them. This is completely I'm making this up.
I'm having this image of my head of a leprechaun Great Gatsby party happening right now.
Exactly.
Of like hanging from chandeliers, possibly having a dance on a piece of delf, and like just listening to music, and Darby could be playing his fiddle in the corner. Like
that's a lot nicer than what I was picturing. Because I was picturing it with more like scorpions, where the male puts down his little packet and the female dances over it, and then they both go off in their merry way.
Okay, that's an image for me.
The problem is with the little we have on female leprechauns, and male leprechauns don't seem inclined to make love to one another. We don't really have too much information as to what
I don't know that the males aren't inclined
they
to
don't
one
seem
another.
to, from what I've gathered.
We have very few stories, but that is the case generally.
I would imagine, because there's just such an abundance of males.
But there are
in the
leprechaun mothers, so there has to be a leprechaun children.
Okay.
And they are vaguely mammalian.
They legit, and again, sort of unironically, were just like, I don't think that male leprechauns bang each other. And like, you don't know that.
Yeah. Like, I haven't heard any stories about male leprechauns fucking.
Yeah. And then they go to like, well, there are leprechaun babies, so we know straight leprechauns are a thing. But I have read in a couple of places online this theory that because you never see female leprechauns, they all must be butt fucking. What do you think?
I mean, based on the 2 seconds I heard of that, where they said they had kids, like, I mean, I assume the Keebler elves get down, but I don't know if
you know it. They come fudge. That's why.
Give me that cookie. Yeah, I mean, anytime there's like a bunch of dudes around, like more dudes than women, eventually people are like, you know what? I'll blow you, you blow me. Like, let's just.
Yep.
Is this a good time to transition?
Sure.
You said you're talking about gay leprechaun stories.
Yeah.
Well, good news.
Great.
Michael A. Johnson.
Yeah.
Monsters Made Me Gay. Leprechaun Gangbang.
Oh my God.
This is the title of a book available on Audible by Hank Wilder that I listened to.
It's not Chuck Tingle.
It's not Chuck Tingle. I don't think this is like a weird satire thing.
Okay.
I think this is just a story.
Okay, great.
It's 18 minutes if you listen to it. I listened to the whole thing. He has this whole series of Monsters Made Me Gay, and you can, like, there are a bunch of them, including one that I don't understand. Monsters Made Me Gay.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Mike.
Monster cocks made me gay.
Were they leprechauns? Because apparently in this story they have giant dicks.
I've read giant dick leprechaun stories before.
What?
On nifty.org. Yeah, go ahead.
That's so weird.
I know.
I mean, oh. Okay.
Or
I'm getting into the... Wait, no. I'm getting into the... I don't want to shame. To me, that is weird. I don't understand it. I support anyone who wants to fuck a leprechaun.
No, what's wrong with me?
No.
There's the whole thing about, like, he steals captures the leprechaun trying to get his pot of gold, and then, like, in some traditions, leprechauns grant you wishes, and he's like, I want a bigger dick, and then he's like, okay, and then he gets this giant dick, and it's green.
Yes, they were all green dicks. There was lots of graphic, like, you know, guy taking dicks from leprechauns.
Yeah.
The quote that I wrote down from the book, if we're gonna fuck, I want to do it right. That was the quote from the straight guy in the story that became gay. It's like,
man.
It was like a book version of gay porn, like, you know, so bad, like, just to...
Nifty.org, the book version of gay porn.
This was only available in the UK.
Weird.
I don't know why.
Like, you had to spoof your IP address to get it, or
no? I could just go to co.uk, Amazon.co.uk.
Right.
But then I made it weird. I couldn't download. Amazon probably thinks I don't know. The one review it had on it, 5 stars. Great story with a very good lead up to the action. Action means gangbang.
Yeah.
Would have liked story to finish with wedding. but now I know what rainbows are made of. I just loved that review.
What are they made of?
I don't know. I didn't learn that. I was like half listening. Maybe they explained in detail what are rainbows, but like different UV rays gangbanging all together, you know?
Yeah.
His other books were Monsters Made Me Gay, Loch Ness Gangbang. But that seems, I think there's just one Loch Ness.
Yeah.
That gangbang is...
But what if there were many participants, many humans?
Many humans, one Loch Ness?
Yeah. Two girls, one cup.
2 girls, one Loch Ness. There's also Attack of the Gay Tentacles.
Yeah, sure. Tentacle porn. Why not?
And my gay husband cheats while I just watch Volume 2. There was too much for just Volume 1 to contain, so we had to do a second volume.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That sounds awesome.
That's
20 minutes of your life you're never going to get back, Kyle.
I mean, what else am I doing with my time, Mike? That's fine.
Gayish.
Okay, I'm going to keep going since I'm talking about gay leprechaun stories.
Okay.
This is unrelated to that last one, but I found a gay leprechaun joke, which is not that good. So go ahead and just mentally set your bar really low.
Okay.
A guy.
You do know that we do this show every week.
So, you know,
my bar is already very low.
Good. You can maintain the level of expectations that you usually have of me. A guy walks into the bathroom to take a leak after drinking. I'm correcting the grammar, just so you know.
Yeah, fine.
It's not great. To take a leak after drinking a couple of pitchers of beer on St. Patrick's Day. Hey, that's relevant. When short after a real short guy, 2 shorts in a row, I wouldn't have put that. Anyway, when short after a real short guy wearing a leprechaun's costume walks into the urinal next to him. For some reason, the guy happens to glance over and see this little guy has a huge cock. What is it with leprechauns and big cocks? Anyway, out of curiosity, the guy asks the leprechaun man, how can I get my cock to grow that big? The leprechaun turns and says in an Irish voice, not to worry, laddie, I'm a leprechaun. Is that Irish? Okay, no. That's the best I can do. No. I will grant you one wish if you let me ram it in your ass, laddie. The guy replies, fuck off, I'm not gay. Nevertheless, the leprechaun says, your loss, and starts to walk away. The guy being drunk turns around and says, hold on, are you really a leprechaun? The leprechaun's reply, well, you see me top hat, don't ya? You see me green suit, don't ya? And it's not St. Patty's Day. which it was. I don't know. What more proof do you need, laddie? The guy stands there and thinks to himself, he does have a point. So the guy, after pondering for a while, agrees, okay, on one condition, you can't tell anybody about this. The leprechaun replies, not to worry, laddie. Besides, who would believe me anyway? Believe you anyway. Okay. So here is this leprechaun going to town on this poor fella. When all of a sudden he stops and asks the guy, by the way, laddie, how old are you? The guy replies, I'm 25 years old. Why do you ask? I guess this is mid-fucking. The short man replied now without the Irish accent, just wondering why a grown 25-year-old man is still believing in leprechauns.
Yeah.
Some dude got butt fucked by a guy dressed as a leprechaun is the joke.
Yeah.
Interestingly, in my Patreon segment,
How's this going to tie in?
I'm going to be talking about people with dwarfism, and the main type of dwarfism is achondroplasia, and their penis and testicle size is not affected by that form of dwarfism. It really only affects like arm and leg proportion for the most part. There are other physical characteristics, but so proportionate, like relative to the length of their legs, their dicks probably look real big. But we'll talk more about that.
Yeah,
in the Patreon segment.
Interesting. Did I leave any of that in? I don't know. That was all I could find about gay leprechauns.
Okay. Leprechauns grant wishes.
Yes.
3 wishes.
Uh-huh.
I mean, a giant dick would be on my list.
I don't think it would be on mine.
Great. What would you wish for, Kyle? A bigger butthole?
World peace.
Okay. Lame.
I don't think that's true. Acceptance for all LGBT people worldwide? No, I wouldn't.
Barf.
I know.
You're very bad at this.
I know. I don't know. All the Lucky Charms I can eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I would wish to be like jacked and hot.
Yeah. Yes.
That would solve all my body image issues, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
that works every time.
Every time. I would wish to for Ryan Reynolds to consistently be inside me. Just anywhere I go, like Ryan Reynolds is inside me.
Okay.
Just like on the bus, going to the grocery store.
Like he's just permanently attached to the back of you?
Yeah, I think so. We'd have to figure out clothing because I don't think that would come naturally. I think we'd have to sew 2 shirts together.
Yeah.
And we just say it's a medical condition. His dick got stuck inside me at a young age, and it just never left. And this is my life now. He would act in movies, and I'd like have to wear all black, like Andy Serkis, just so they could edit me out later.
Jesus.
What else would I need then? I'll give away my wish because that's all I want in my life.
Great.
What would you wish for?
A giant dick,
Yeah.
probably to be jacked,
Yeah.
and like a reasonable amount of money. Not like I want all the most money in the world, but I would want like $4 million.
Why, if you're going to wish for money, why wouldn't you go ahead and wish for like Elon Musk level money?
Because nobody needs that much money.
Oh,
Even me.
political stance. Did you hear that, billionaires? That's weird. I would. That's true. A lot of money would be nice. I'd wish to not have depression.
Oh.
Wow, made it real.
Yeah, but it's part of you, Kyle. It's why you're you.
Ew, no.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah, I agree.
Get it away.
The top definition of leprechaun on UrbanDictionary.com.
I did this a little bit, but it was just so full of racist things that I stopped. So go ahead and you do it, Mike.
Well, I just don't understand it.
How so?
Well, there's this... okay, so the African white Moatia, which were captured by Krampus and sold to St. Nick as slaves. Once the Roman Empire emerged, the North Pole was conquered and the elves were freed. So grateful the elves felt indebted to the Romans and have ever since watched over and protected the Romans' most valued object, gold. Isn't Urban Dictionary supposed to be funny? Do they think they're being funny?
I think sometimes when there's no sexual definition, people just put the real definition. And usually at the end I see it with something like, what did you expect, you nasty, nasty boy?
Definition 2. 2A. A mischievous little man, often clad in green, who moves your remote and steals your underwear in the dark of night. The example is...
That's just a burglar. Like, you just have a predator on your hands.
What's wrong, Katie? That leprechaun has stolen me lucky panties.
Why would she be Irish?
I don't know. And B, a vertically challenged pedophile who tricks little children into eating his magically delicious Lucky Charms. Some say he's not even human. They say that the clover on his head is his source of power. There is no way to destroy it except to match its awesome might. This is why on St. Patrick's Day, some children nearly went mad, pawing at the ground, searching for a four-leaf clover. I encourage you to do the same, for the leprechaun equinox is near. Lucky's power will be at a climax, and by daybreak, the world will be his.
They're talking about Lucky as if they're talking about the General Mills mascot.
Yeah.
Unless, like, that... Do they... Wow. This is a whole new take on your children's breakfast cereals now gay.
Yeah.
It's like Annie's masterminding the whole thing. Is any of that offensive to Irish people or to, like...
I mean, there are a lot of offensive Irish stereotypes, and the fact that, like, a lot of them are, like, leprechaun adjacent, I think is probably bad.
Oh, okay.
But I was in Ireland, in Galway, on St. Patrick's Day last year, and there was a lot of fucking American-looking St. Patrick's Day horse shit going on, like costumes and green everywhere and four-leaf clovers and leprechauns blowing each other. It was great.
But did you see leprechauns blowing each other?
No, but I
Were
wish
you
I
the
had.
guy in the story?
That's my third wish, Kyle.
If you want to dress like a leprechaun and give Mike a blowjob, it's 585. Oh, new fetish?
Maybe.
When you update your app, we'll put that on there.
I mean, are they going to have giant dicks?
Just because they celebrate St. Patrick's Day and dress like leprechaun
and get fucked up.
Yeah, doesn't mean they want their, like, the history of leprechauns to be like they were taken as slaves in the North Pole. Like, that's just a lot of that is really, I don't know,
Problematic.
Yeah,
is
especially
the word.
Yeah. And I wonder, well, I also don't know the actual, like, mythology of, maybe I should listen to the Leprechaun Museum of Facts.
National Leprechaun Museum podcast.
Not so close.
Yeah. I did hear them say that leprechauns apparently, like, emigrated to Ireland, that they're not even native Irish. They came from, like, Phelan or something, and like, took all the good jobs. I don't know. I wasn't really listening.
So now you're not only recounting what you think you might have heard on it, now you're inventing even more racist things?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I think that means this part of the episode is done, right?
Did we do it?
Yeah. No, we really took a nosedive at the end.
Do you want to take a break?
Yes, let's take a break.
Let's take a break and have some Lucky Charms.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, shut up. Hey, Kyle.
No, wait.
What?
I have a thing to say about leprechauns.
Okay.
I didn't talk about the movie Luck of the Irish, which is one of those early things where the main boy in it, who's an actor named Ryan Merriman, was in it. And, like, I was like, I'm very into this movie. I really liked it.
How old is this movie?
I watched it when I was, like, junior. Oh, 2001.
Okay.
It was, like, on the Disney Channel. The character's name was Kyle Johnson, which that's weird.
That's real weird.
Yeah.
He must have been hot.
Wait, thanks? Or rude? I don't know. Yeah, he was, like, super cute, and one of the things that I, like, did not remember until we took a break of, like, he's hot.
That's fantastic.
Okay, do your polarity word of the week now.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
You're going to hate it.
Okay.
I've been sexting with another listener.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fine. It's going to be the polarity word of the week. Deal with it.
I knew. Sorry, I'll let you surprise me.
No, I've been talking to this guy David. That he joined our Discord server and he's a listener, and, like, he's from Costa Rica and he's a big old dick, but he's like 5'5", so, like, that makes it, again, perspective. Like, looks like enormous.
Should you be saying this? Like, is he?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Our sexting would suggest that he's super into what's happening right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was going to make a joke about, like, he's 5'5", so he's like a bijou leprechaun, and then see if you caught the fact that.
Oh yeah, bijou.
Yeah, the polarity word of the week is bijou.
But now I'm worried. Like, you should you say that?
He explicitly told me that this is fine.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Compare him to a leprechaun. Like, that's fine.
I don't know about that part, but yeah.
Well,
one of his
that's the part that I'm now questioning.
One of his nicknames is Dotado, which I think is great.
I don't know what that means.
I think it just means endowed,
Oh.
which is fantastic. Anyway, he's a lot of fun to sext with.
Feel weird about so many things in this.
Great. Feel weird, Kyle.
I don't think not little. Little people. Or short people like being called leprechauns.
Oh, well, that's true. He's not a leprechaun. He's not short enough to be a little person. Yeah. But 5'5" is not tall.
That's true.
And I'm kind of into it. So
okay. Bijou.
It means small. It also sort of implies an adorable small because it comes with it this connotation of like jewelry or it's cute and small.
Yeah.
So bijou.
And we've someone tweeted that Polari phrase Bijou Harris, which Harris is butt, so I have a Bijou Harris.
Yeah.
Which is a small butt.
Yep.
Which I think Bijou Harris should be my drag name.
Bijou Harris. It's perfect.
You know, right?
Kick Kike to the ground.
Kick
Kike to the curb.
And that's the sequel to Curb Your Enthusiasm with only drag queens.
But Bijou.
Small,
and
cute, Lil.
Join our Discord server.
Okay, let's do the contact info.
Oh, okay. Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
All of our social media, we're at Gayish Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails. It's 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply. Mike, what does standard rates apply mean?
It means if you don't have a deal with your phone company like a modern human that gives you unlimited text messaging or phone time.
Remember when it cost 10 cents and you'd be like, stop texting me, this is 10 cents every time?
Exactly. If you're one of those people, you need to know that texting us isn't suddenly free. We don't have a toll-free number.
A toll text free, yeah.
Well, or call if you want to leave a voicemail. It's like you might, if you're calling from a landline because it's the 90s for you, then you're going to end up paying 14 cents a minute or whatever the fuck. So that's what it means.
Yeah. And our email.
I just got back from Eastern Washington where it's basically still 1993.
They haven't caught up yet.
I spit all over my microphone. It was hot.
New sex act. And our email is gmail@gayishpodcast.com. Do we have one that's like more, like less goofy?
It's contact.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Maybe I should.
Or info.
Okay. Oh, and we also have all of our names at Gayish Podcast if you want to email one of us. Some people email fucking Dan at gayishpodcast.com to send in like corrections or things that we asked for. So,
and if you want to send us stuff, it's P.O. Box 19882, Seattle, Washington 98109. So we're going to talk about that stuff now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah? Okay. First off, a company called Studio Ready has sent us a sample of their hot coffee scrub. The hot coffee scrub is designed to make your butthole taste better.
I had actually heard of this before you got it, and someone was explaining this to me, and I was like, the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I know what it is. I was using it the whole time I lived here.
Okay, great.
Oh, yeah. No, I already...
Your pipes are full of hot coffee scrub. It's not that... I wasn't using that brand, though, and the brand I used was, like, not billed as make your ass taste better.
Well, I'm going to do, for science reasons, I'm going to see if I can use it and go see my sex friend and see if he can tell the difference.
You pulled this out the other night when we had a bunch of people over and everyone took turns tasting it, and it tastes like sugar and coffee. Like like I wanted to get a spoon and just, you know.
The first ingredient is cane sugar.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will more on this later, but Studio Ready. I'm going to make my butthole taste amazing.
Yeah.
Go very good with my homemade lube, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little coconut, a little cocoa butter, a little chocolate.
Go well with your
coffee.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, have some eggs and coffee butt.
Great.
Yeah. That's so
next.
Cool.
And with
Thank
some
you.
milk.
Thank you to
Thanks,
the
Studio
makers
Ready.
of hot coffee scrub.
Yeah.
What's the company name?
Studio Ready.
Studio Ready by L'Oreal.
I don't think so.
No.
We got a letter. Feel free to cut all of this.
Oh, okay.
This is not easy to read. It's
you want me to read?
It's in cursive. You're a millennial.
No, millennials gave up. We were always lied to, and everyone was like, you have to use cursive in high school, and then it was, you have to use cursive in college, and then we got to college, and they were like, I'm just going to teach you stuff. You do what you want.
Oh, man. Okay, dear Gayish boys, as y'all know, I listen to the podcast every Thursday and look forward to the new episode. I asked Mr. Mike Johnson what each of your favorite Disney characters was, and haven't received a response. Shame on you, Mike. Guess I'll have to include another dick pic to get a faster response. That would help.
That's true. That's true.
Send it to me, Nick.
I'll be listening for the answers. Look forward to meeting y'all at Pride 48 this year, and if y'all are wondering, yes, I will properly stir your cocktails there. Also, Micah will hopefully have the 00 in before the event.
What's that mean?
Love y'all. Young Nicholas, a.k.a. Rusty Trombone. He has a PA.
Oh, got it. So the 00 gauge.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. I think my favorite Disney character is...
Why did we talk about this recently?
Because he legit contacted me to ask, and then I asked you guys on Facebook, and
we did actually have
and hot, and
then the conversation died because we weren't sure if we were each supposed to give an answer, if we were supposed to come up with an answer for all of us.
No, that's stupid, Mike. It's the sorry, I get annoyed at you sometimes. We want to know all of our favorite ones. No one would say collectively decide on your favorite.
My favorite Disney character is Snoopy.
My favorite character is the house under Snoopy. No, my favorite is probably Simba, and I didn't remember this. That was Lion King was the first movie I ever saw in the movie theater. So this is I think my first Disney movie. Then I got the cassette tape. If you didn't know I was gay, my cassette tapes were Lion King and Mariah Carey, the good one.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's 4th grade talent show, sang a medley of Lion King songs and then got made fun of. So that's fun.
Yay.
I'm going to be a mighty king.
That's lovely.
Is it? Okay. Dan, do you have...
Omi. I struggle...
Omi?
What?
You're one of my favorite Omis.
Oh, yeah.
Polari.
Yeah, that. I'm a little behind on my Polari. I struggled because although my first movie was also a Disney movie in the theater, it was Fantasia. I'm a little older, and I think I missed that sort of raised by Disney generation. Yeah. So I struggled a little bit because I actually have been because Daddy is super and he loves a Disney movie.
Of course he is.
I've been trying to play catch up. We watched Little Mermaid. I watched Little Mermaid for the first time last year, although we decided to take a drinking game and apply poppers to it.
Snap, crackle, pop.
So like
you're not supposed to drink poppers, Dan.
No. Yeah, to be clear, we were huffing poppers whenever it was time to drink in the drinking game, which was like anytime Ariel used like a funny name for some like a dingle hopper or whatever, or anytime that little fish like was scared,
flounder, or
anytime the like super hot prince like screamed the dog's name. Yeah. Anyway, so I had it was harder. It was hard for me to try and think, and then of course it's hard for me to pick. So I'm gonna say 3 things you can pick, Nick.
Oh God,
I trust you.
Pick Nick. I'm hungry.
One of my first dates when I was 17. I went to see Aladdin when it was in the theater with a boy. It was my like first movie date with a boy. And Aladdin, I had like a huge crush on Aladdin. I have a thing for kind of strong noses, and so Aladdin, he's up there. I love that Ursula from The Little Mermaid was designed in part, at least, based on Divine from John Waters movies. So she's basically a drag queen octopus, which is pretty fucking epic, and she's spooky and she's a witch, so that appeals to me too. And then like the most adorable is from a movie that I just recently saw thanks to Disney Plus, which is Miko from Pocahontas, the little trash panda. And when he's like eating crackers, it's the fucking cutest, and he's like licking his little fingers to make sure he gets every crumb. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the cutest. He's like the best sidekick, I think, of any that I've seen.
Is it because he eats carbs?
So that's my favorite lead character, my favorite villain, and my favorite sidekick. And fuck the princesses. You
guys are exhausting.
I know.
I think mine is Merlin from The Sword and the Stone.
Oh.
Moving on. You were on LGBT Stories.
Oh yeah. Good call. Yeah, we had Kevin Gertis on our episode called The Closet just recently, and then we both, maybe, I don't know about you, I was on his most recent episode, or there may be another one out by now, but where I was talking about coming out and depression, which I know I talk about on this podcast, but it's like just me talking. It's not an interview. It's me telling a story. So I talked way more about childhood stuff and more like in depth about legit like how depression feels, and a lot more detail than I usually do. So it was. I mean, it's horrifying that it's up, but
Yeah.
check that out if you want to.
I listened. I liked it.
Oh, thanks.
You get 0 points for not mentioning our show at all. But
Well, he did. He was leaving that up to him. Well, I mean, how do I include that? Like, man, coming out was so difficult. But when I started our podcast, Gayish, which can be found on all podcast players.
see, now you're learning. This is what it should have sounded like.
God.
No, I get it. Gayest or straightest?
Yeah.
Kyle,
What?
you're going first.
Oh, okay.
I have decided.
Woo.
I'm
The decider.
daddying the podcast now.
My straightest thing is I got bored. I've been doing better depression-wise.
You told this story the other night, and I think it's amazing.
And like the feeling of being bored and then being like, I guess I'm going to do something because I'm bored right now. I was just like watching TV or whatever. I never get that feeling because I'm always like too depressed to do stuff. So to like experience boredom and be like, instead, I'm going to go do a productive thing. That never happens to me. So it's my straightest because any kind of mental health thing is more affects LGBT. And I just assume that's just like what straight people get to do. They're like,
I'm bored.
I'm bored. I'm going to do something now and not really have to think about it too much.
Watch Sports Center.
Yeah. My gayest thing is I just started listening to this new artist, Galaxera, spelled Galxara.
Oh, yeah.
And I love, she has only a few songs out. I love her. I think I'm catching her, like she's going to blow up even more. And what?
I don't know, like Veruca Salt?
She's going to turn into a blueberry. At least she didn't have to go through a giant pipe.
Yeah.
Because she loves chocolate. So my gayest thing, all this could be my gayest thing, but my gayest thing was then spending a lot of time researching if she was any kind of queer.
Is she?
I don't know the genders. It's not specifically stated anywhere, but I did see a post where she is kissing a more female presenting person and have the hashtag lesbians under it. So
cool. I mean, that seems definitive to me.
Well, but you could put that under lesbians and still be like queer or bisexual. I don't know. That might just, I don't know. Whom knows?
Okay.
She's part of us.
I hope so.
Yeah. Your turn.
Oh, the straightest thing about me this week. So I went home yesterday for my youngest brother's getting married, and it wasn't a bachelor party. It was more of a like engagement party, but just the groomsmen. I didn't understand the occasion, but we did it. We had it. But the straightest thing about me was I wore this shirt.
Massive cock.
It says the word massive and then a big old rooster on it.
Yeah.
Which Matthew actually gave me this shirt, which that was part of why I wore it, but also just so that I had my vest on. And I was like, I wore this for Murph, and I opened my vest,
Revealed.
and then like the damn reaction that I got from the straight bros that were there was fantastic.
Yes.
It was great.
Yeah.
The gayest thing about me though was
Isn't it fun being the token gay sometimes?
The gayest thing about me this week is so. Oh, God. I'm glad I had a couple of beverages so I can get through this part. My brother's best man is a very attractive man. Oh. And an ally and totally comfortable and down. So much so that he does the, like, you're the token gay. I'm going to kind of flirt with you.
Yeah.
And I think he thinks it's innocent. And at the same time, I'm like, you have no idea that I would actually, like, probably do dirty things to you. But it's in that, like, kind of fun way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
But the gayest thing about me was just that feeling of, like, don't react.
Be cool.
Don't react.
Like, yeah, if you're too overt, then it like ruins it. You have to be like, oh my God, don't.
Yeah, exactly. I can't be like, take your pants off.
Yeah,
I've got to be like,
yeah,
play it cool.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how like we're going on this trip, and if we have to share beds, that we like, you have to be pole to pole or hole to hole. You can't be pole to hole. And I'm like, girl. So that's it. What? Go ahead.
That's 69. It's just South Pole touching North Pole.
That's right.
Wait, are we going to do a listeners?
Oh yeah. Fuck my ass.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on.
Not right now.
Great. Thanks. Our listener Gayest and Straightest this week comes from Brandon Pettigrew, who runs our Discord server. Thanks for all of the free work you give us.
Thank you, Brandon.
Straightest. I think my straightest this week was after I finished my workout at the gym, and I went up to the mirror and started taking pics of myself flexing. I felt like a super douche gym bro after. Also very
Nice.
hot.
Yep.
He posted some of them. I'm here for that. Gayest. So I guess I would like to introduce another phrase to the Gayish universe, and that is ear blasting. To explain... Me and the boyfriend had an edging session the other night, runtime about 2 hours, and when he got close, I started licking his nipples. I then noticed that his dick head was pointed right at my face, so I turned away. It didn't help, because once he came, I felt a shot of cum hit my face, and then 2 strong shots right into my ear.
Oh my God.
Imagine someone shooting a water gun right into your ear from close range. That's the force that it hit me. So not only was my face, arm, and neck covered in cum, I also had an earful of jizz that was both hilarious and kind of traumatizing. After I cleaned up and washed my ears, I felt some water still in there, and I thought the jizz had returned to deafen me.
Yeah, it's like you do that, like after you go swimming, you like tilt your head over and try to knock the ear out, or knock the water out, but it's cum.
Oh, God.
And then, wait, it's ear snowballing when you drink that ear cum and then spit it back in their ear.
Wow. What kind of earwax candle would that make?
I grossed myself out.
Yeah, great. So that's it.
That's it.
A special thank you to the Irish National Leprechaun Museum.
Yeah, and thank you to Hank Wilder for writing Monsters May Be Gay Leprechaun Gangbang.
And thanks to fucking Dan for showing up this week.
Damn.
Under promise, over deliver.
That's it. This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. And catch me lucky charms.
Stay away from me, pot of gold.
The long joke I told wasn't even fake funny because it wasn't even bad enough that it was not like it was funny because it was bad. Yeah. It was just boring.
It's a decent segue to the Patreon segment.
And I was thinking like that's a long way to get to like
achondroplasia. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.